Late others join in. Mm, mm. Hello participants, warm greetings for the day. As we can see, there are participants are joining in. So we will wait for next 5 minutes to join late of other participants of the webinar. Once everyone has joined, we will start the webinar within next 5 minutes.
So meanwhile, Shubham and Suraj, can you confirm if you still see anything on the screen apart from the presentation, or is it good?
Uh, is it
Pratik,
good
it's good
now?
now.
Okay,
Earlier there was one screen. You can check your WhatsApp for that. There's
okay,
a simple.
sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Now everything is clear.
Yes,
So just in case I forget hiding the floating controls, let me know. Okay, so I've hidden them
definitely.
now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Hello Kundlik.
Hello, Patrick, hello, Suran.
Hello.
Meanwhile, I will request to all the joinees who have joined so far. This webinar is really important and mandatory for all the team members. So if your team members have not joined yet, or even if your team leader has not joined yet, please give them a call, send them a message to join. This session is important as far as your IDC submission is concerned. And as you are already aware about the IDC submission weightage for this year is 25%. So we are going to have two sessions based on this. One will be for your IDC, where we will explain about how you can prepare your IDC really well and what things to take care. That will be, you can say, for 25% of weightage. And after a few weeks, once we are going to start with the final design concept submission, we are going to host one more webinar, which we will talk about the FTC, which is 75% of weightage. So um, please remind your team members and team leaders to join the session.
Okay, I guess people are joining in. So meanwhile, we can start the webinar. So, hello participants of Akruti Innovation Competition 2025. I'm Suraj Gajbiye. Along with me, my colleagues are there, Shubham Arora, Kundlik Garde, and our today's special speaker, Mr. Pratik Deshmukh. So, I'm like to welcome you all for today's session on crafting pitches that win. So, what to include in IDC and why? So I would like to introduce the today's speaker, Mr. Pratik Deshmukh. So Pratik Deshmukh is a graduate from the prestigious College of Engineering, Pune. After graduation, he founded RoboLab Technologies Private Limited, and he is a winner of Government of India's National Entrepreneurship Award 2019 and various other awards for his startup. He joined DSDS in 2023 and is currently working as an industry solution technical manager for two industries, namely consumer packaged goods, retail, and home and lifestyle industry. So I would like to once again welcome Mr. Pratik Deshmukh. Pratik, you can take over from here.
Yeah, thank you, Suraj. I hope I'm properly audible to you all. Welcome
Yes.
to all the participants, to all the team members, mentors, and students. I'm glad to be here to discuss with you. First of all, wishing you a very happy Friendship Day. I hope during the competition that you are a part of now, you're part of Akruti, you will be not only learning stuff, wonderful stuff that we are all trying to share with you, we using the platforms that we are going to provide you and have already provided you, but also this will help you create wonderful friendships when you're working on this. So today, a few days ago, when I got in touch with Shubham, he said to me that let's have one session where we help students, the participants understand that what should exactly they include in their initial design concept and why they should include certain things. I believe all of you have already been shared one template that is required for IDC. We will see why that particular template is there. Why do we have themes in this session? We will also cover that we have four themes here, and it why it is important to select a particular theme which would be right for your product. Should we select the product first and the theme later, or should we actually be the theme first and the product later? So selection of the right product and the right theme. Then we will try to create a mind map of a product pitch. Although we are here to interact, to work on this competition, but if you want to pitch your product to anybody in the world, what all things that you should include in it. We will also try to have one example of a sample imaginary product that we can try to create a IDC for. And then we will end with a small Q&A session, not only restricted to what I'm going to cover in this session, but also to the overall things that you have questions in your mind about the Akruti Innovation Competition. So let's get started. As I said to you all that there are four themes that we have this year. First one is sustainable products for human wellness. Second is sustainable habitat for city and infrastructure. Third is sustainable mobility. And fourth is green energy generation, transmission, and storage. First thing when I read all of this was, why do we have themes? And is it really important that I select the right theme for my product? So I would like to cover this with a short story that why the selection of the theme is really important. This is a story that I always tell when the topic of theme comes up, and a lot of people have been able to relate to it. So here it goes. So every story, as you know, has protagonists in it. Protagonists are the heroes of the story, or the hero and the villain that we are talking about. The entire story revolves around them. So for us, our protagonist is named as Daniel. So say hi to Daniel. Daniel is working currently as a city bus conductor. He's great at his job. People love him. He's wonderful interacting with the people. He's always on time. He does all the numbers. Whenever he sells the ticket, his numbers always match up. His bosses are happy about it. He's happy about his work. Life is going wonderful. So Daniel is our main character in this story. We will view everything from his perspective. Another person that is a part of the story is called John. Since John is really big in size, when you look at John, you can say that he goes to the gym 8 times a week and talks in a very heavy voice. People refer to him as Big John. So when you talk to John, he'll be like, "Hello, I'm Big John," and we are happy to meet Big John. So the story goes like this: that one day, one fine day, Daniel was going around doing his day-to-day activities, and Big John was wanting to travel from one place to another. It so happened that the bus on which Daniel was working, Big John got into that bus, and he was sitting like everybody else. So while collecting the ticket, Daniel went to everybody, asked for the tickets, and people gave him money. He exchanged the tickets to them. Other people who already had the tickets, they showed it to him. And same, he went to Big John and asked him, "Ticket, please." And Big John, in a very heavy voice, said to him that Big John doesn't pay. So initially, since our Daniel was very small in size, not particularly muscular and everything, he looked at Big John. He kind of got scared, and he thought that, okay, let it be. Why not? Let's not get into a brawl. And he said to him, okay, and he moved on without trying to argue with him. The next day, same thing happened. Again, Daniel was going about his business, and Big John got into the bus, sat there, smiling, listen, headphones on, listening to music and everything. Daniel went to him, asked again, "Ticket, please." And Big John, again in a heavy voice, said that Big John doesn't pay. And again, Daniel got scared. He thought, "Oh, oh, I don't think I can fight this guy. Let it be. I'll just move on. Maybe he'll stop coming a few days later on." The same thing kept happening again and again for the entire week. Daniel was very upset and frustrated with this. He didn't know what to do. He was always thinking about it. His numbers were not at all matching up. And he thought that, okay, this is a big problem that I have identified and I need to solve this problem. He said that this must stop. My numbers are not matching up. My agency is continuously losing money because of this. And at the other end, he also thought that I am so small in size, a lot weak compared to Big John, and that's why I'm really scared of Big John. So Daniel thought that this is a big problem. Like, all we do, we are all engineers. We try to identify problems and solve them. So just like us, Daniel also identified one problem and he tried to solve it. And he thought that, okay, the best way to make sure that I overcome this problem is that I'll join a gym now, and I'll go to the gym. I'll need to be as strong as Big John is, and I will be strong one day. And when Big John again boards the bus, I'll ask him to, pay. And he decided that tomorrow onwards, his solution was to this problem that tomorrow onwards, I'm going to join the gym and start building my body to achieve the goal. And he thought that once I do that, my problem would be solved. I'll need not be scared of anyone while I'm doing my day-to-day activities. So what did he start to do? For the next 6 months, Daniel worked hard. He went to the gym 5 hours a day, every single day. Initially, he was very weak. He didn't know how to start. He was failing every now and then. He didn't know how to use the tools and everything. Slowly, he got to it. And for 6 months, he was really, really focused on trying to solve this problem. And while trying to do so, he made sure that he knew his aim, that I want to be strong and make sure that Big John doesn't go without having a ticket. So for 6 months, our Daniel worked really, really hard, and after 6 months, he became the new Daniel, really muscular, strong, and really big in size, as big as our Big John. And after the hard work, he decided that next day when he goes to work, he boarded the bus and he was going about taking tickets from everybody. Like every other day, Big John also came into the bus. And today, our Daniel asked Big John, "Ticket, please." Again, Big John looked up to him and said in heavy voice that Big John doesn't pay. This time, our Daniel got really angry. He was now empowered enough, he had enough muscles, and everything was big enough to be able to fight with Big John. He was all prepared in his mind that I need to fight with this guy. And he said to him in a big voice that, "How dare you not pay?" And everybody in the bus started looking at them. This was the moment of truth. A big fight was about to happen, and we all know how much we love a big fight, especially in a public place. So everybody was looking at them, ready that the both we have two muscular men who are going to fight now, and people wanted to see how it goes. Then Big John took out his headphones, look up to him. He, for the first time, he saw that Daniel is shouting on him and asking him something in an angry voice. And Big John looked up to him and said, smiling, that Big John has a bus pass. At this particular moment, everybody in the bus put their hands on their heads. Even Daniel did the same. He realized that he, for the past 6 months, didn't consider the possibility that Big John had a bus pass, and the reason he was not buying a ticket and saying that Big John doesn't buy a ticket is because he had a bus pass. He didn't really need to buy a ticket every single day. So the moral of the story is that we have a Daniel who spent 6 months working on a problem which actually didn't exist. For him, he thought it is a problem, but he failed to go to the root cause of this problem. The same happens to us as well. So when you are participating in Akriti competition, it might happen that you come up with a problem statement, which really is not a problem for you, it might seem to be something really big, or for your friends within the team, you might think that this is a very big problem that I'm trying to solve. But it might happen that either it is already solved, or there is a better solution available, or this, it might actually not be a problem at all. It might be a misconception that you have in your mind. So make sure that when you are deciding your product that you're going to build under the Akriti Innovation Competition, you ask yourself, these are some points that we covered when we told you about storytelling as well. Like you should ask yourself that what are we doing as a solution that we are building. You should ask yourself why we are building it. It's really important. The why part makes a huge difference when you're building your solution. uh, you should ask it that where will my product be used, who will be the people who will be using my product, how will my product be used, when are you going to do it, like how are you going to build it. Akriti has a timeline associated with it. What if you're building a product that takes 3 years to build? You might not be able to pitch it when the final submissions are required. So it is also important to have realistic views about what product you're going to build. And if you remember, we had conducted a session called as design thinking. Do make sure that you apply it when you're building your product. And design thinking is not something that you apply only at the beginning of your product journey. You apply it continuously until you are pitching in the finale. You should continuously keep thinking about it. You should continuously keep ideating that how am I solving a problem. You will be prototyping it. Don't consider that your prototype would be perfect in just one go. Keep testing it every now and then. You will keep learning it. Make sure that whatever you do, you define it in a very wonderful manner for people to understand. Remember, this is a competition. People will be judging you, so you will need to help them understand your own problem that you're going to solve. And for that, you'll also have to help them empathize with your problem. For empathizing, you'll have to tell certain ways in which you'll be pitching the solution to them, or telling about them, about the product that you're building. So, moral of this is, please make sure that your product fits in one of the four themes that we have. So, before the session, I was also checking the community that we have for this year, and there was one particular post which mentioned that I have a wonderful product that we have built. It is really, really nice, but it doesn't fit in any of the themes of this year. But I think it would be a really value addition if we make the product. Can you please allow us to make the product? See, my friend, in such cases, if you select a product which doesn't fit in the theme as per the rules which we've already told you, you would be not getting those particular marks. So it would not be of use to you. So the answer is, please select a product that fits in the theme. Please don't go outside of it. Other thing that people try to do is select the product first and then trying to fit it in a particular theme. Make sure that it's not done that way. You should identify a theme and then the product. Don't try to make a fish climb a tree. Sometimes people also do that. Try avoid doing that during your product journey. And as you know, we have already told you a timeline that during the contest we will be having, we've already done with the registration. You have done certain sessions on product designing. You are using X design already, you have access to the platform. The sessions are recorded, you're going through it. Currently we are at initial design concept submission that that you are all expected to do, I think by 7th of August. Then we'll be having final product design submission, and then the finale and everything, and then the international finale somewhere in February 2026. During the entire thing, what I feel is it's about exploring your own product, trying to find certain answers to the questions that I'll be covering in the slides that are about to follow herein. So currently we are at initial design submission, and we thought that today, why not discuss about what to include in it. So if you remember in the previous webinar, we told you what the template looks like. Today we'll again at the later part go through the template as well. So the best way to think and to decide if your product is really worthy and if you have completed all the aspects that a product requires, I think it's important to ask yourself a very, very basic question, that if I want someone to buy my product that I'm building, what should I tell them about my product? So the entire time that you're working on your products, try to find the answer to this particular question. And for me, I think it's very important that when you are trying to sell your product to somebody or convincing them to buy your product or to invest your product, it's very important that you give them a very wonderful presentation. So when I say presentation, it's not only about you talking, it's about the documents that you prepare for it, which in this case is the IDC and later on the FDC. How wonderfully you present it, that really makes a big difference. So if I just want to tell what are the key points that you should consider, is first most important that whatever data that you prepare for your product, it should be tailor made for your particular audience. Here, when you're doing your IDC, your audience is the evaluation team. So make sure that you prepare everything as per their liking. One good thing is our audience has given us a template which we'll be filling when we submit our product. So we already have a lot of things sorted out. You should have very wonderful clarity and organization about who is going to do what in your product. So if you remember, your IDC also covers that which person does what is the responsibility, who are the team members, who are the mentors and everything. When you want people to understand things, it's always better that you visually show them what they are going to see. So if you remember, your IDC also has some visual aids section in it where you can create some photographs, put some photographs or videos of your particular product. Make sure that when the time comes for presenting it, you practice it really well. All of us will be getting limited amount of time, I think about 7 minutes, when we eventually pitch our product after the selection. When it happens, after all the submissions are done, we select certain teams. It's better that you all practice, try to fit in between the 3 minutes, 5 minutes or 7 minutes, whatever is allocated to you. Later on we'll be telling that to you in the coming days, and be prepared to handle certain questions. So for this, it's very important that you know in and out about your product. To make sure that we have a pitch like this, I thought, why not have a cheat code kind of a thing for you all? So when you're pitching your product, what are the particular points that you should cover when you are pitching it? It's as good as introducing your product to the people. So for me, I think whenever you are pitching your product, you should give answer to these 8 questions. Your product page, your presentation, or the document that you submit, try to cover every single point that is there in it. So at this point of time, I'll move from this presentation to a tool which is called as a mind map. In between, if there are any questions, I'll check uh, if anything related to the questions to the slides that I'm presenting. Okay, I'll just hide the floating controls again. I hope now it's again properly visible to you all. So friends, this is a tool which is called as a mind map. And mind map, as the name suggests, is a way of trying to build a wonderful way to talk to people in a structured manner. And it is also a tool to use when you want to put the ideas in your mind on a paper. So this is a free tool, you can use it. So as I was talking, a particular product presentation that you're going to do, it should have 8 points in it. It should have a wonderful introduction. When I talk about introduction, what should it include? So during the going through this mind map, we will also eventually try to map with our IDC that we are doing. Just make sure that don't consider this only for the IDC. Here the 8 questions that you see, they are meant as a exploratory journey for you, that during your entire Akriti journey, try to make everything available. It might happen that during the IDC you don't have some of the points that are mentioned in this particular mind map, but make sure that by the end of the Akriti you have all of it filled when you are building your product. So starting with an introduction, I think, and I believe that for you, it's very important that when you introduce your product, you should have the following points in them. You should have the name of your team members. When you're talking about it, you can say, my name is Pratik. I am from Pune. My team name is XYZ. And you can tell something memorable about yourself as well. You can introduce your mentor. And by telling something memorable, the reason I'm suggesting that you do this, because judges are able to remember that if you use something, a wonderful image that actually represents your product when you're doing your IDC, putting it in the introduction might be of really really good help. If you remember, in your IDC we have a section where we put in the names, where we ask you to put in the names of your team members, the photographs, what are the role that you're doing in your project, the mentor that is there in your project. You can cover that as well in it. Second important point which you should cover is the problem statement. What are you going to do? So I think when we talk about problem statement, there are certain sub points that should be a part of it. So first sub point is the importance of selection of the right theme. Even in your IDC, there is a section we are asking you why you have selected a particular theme. How does your product fit in a particular theme? So make sure you have an answer ready for it and put it in your IDC as well. Do make sure that you do a very good kind of market survey. So when I say market survey, it's not just Googling it. You can, of course, you can always use Google, you can use Chat GPT, Napkin AI, everything to create all of this. But do make sure that you verify whatever numbers that you're going to put in together. And when we say market survey, it's really important that you try to quantify it. Because when you try to quantify it, you can help the person who is listening to your pitch understand the magnitude of the problem that you're trying to solve. You can quantify it in terms of time, you can quantify it in terms of money as well. This helps establish a very wonderful thing which is referred to as market size, how big the market is for this product. And when I say market size, then immediately in your mind in your mind, three points will come. One is would be what is the total addressable market that is available, which is referred to as TAM. There is a other concept called as serviceable addressable market, referred to as SAM in short. And third one is serviceable obtainable market, referred to as SOM. So if you're not aware about these terms, really important terms that you can utilize when you're giving your presentation, I wanted that today we will do a small example. Let us say that my product that I have selected, by the way, this is a sample product, it's not an actual product. Just wanted to help you all understand what are the different aspects of your presentation should be. So I have identified one problem. Let us say that product that my team is going to build and I am participating in Akriti is related to a prosthetic arm for upper arm amputees, people who don't have hands. I'm going to build a prosthetic hand for them. So if I want to introduce this to my to people, how would I tell them? Firstly, I will tell them the problem statement. Firstly, I will do a market survey, and after surveying, I identified that there are actually 5 million amputees in India. So, India is a country with 140 crore people, and out of them, 5 million amputees are there in India. And I drastically saw a number that only 5 to 10% of them actually get access to prosthetics, which are related to upper limb solutions. And these solutions are very rare and very costly. So they cost as much as 2 to 3 lakh rupees, which is not affordable at all to people. And my solution that I'm going to build as a product, it costs only 15,000 rupees. It's a prosthetic hand that is low cost. It's suitable for mass adoption. I have a plan of selling it as well. How do I sell it? I'll cover it in the later lines. And it is 3D printed. It could be customized as per the people. It can be done in different colors. It's operated by voice. So easy to adopt. I can even say that my product costs even less than a smartphone when they want to buy it. The targeted users that are going to use it is the low income upper hand, upper arm amputees, even the NGOs. Like this becomes a direct business to consumer case for me when I directly sell it to people. And if I sell it to NGOs or rehabilitation centers or rural hospitals, it becomes a B2B case for me, business to business. I am selling me myself as a business, I am selling to another business. So I am following a B2B model as well. And as a business, I am selling it to another consumer, so it becomes a B2C model. So one of the other things that gets answered is which business model am I going to follow when I am going to pitch this particular product. As a USP for my product, I can always say that it costs 10x lesser. Currently, the market solutions are around 1.5 lakhs to 2 lakhs. My solution is only about 15,000 rupees. So it is very less in cost, 10x. There is a 10x cost reduction that I'm bringing, and it is simple. Mechanically, it's very simple. It can be manufactured locally and it can be custom fit as well. And these are all the number parts that I'm presenting in front of you. The impact that comes out of it is that the people who will be using this, who actually cannot afford the current expensive market solutions, by using my low cost solution, we are able to restore the confidence, and we are able to improve the utility for, and they are able to do their day to day activities really easily, and we are doing social upliftment. So now you will see that there is a financial, tangible and non tangible, both parts could be covered in this. Let us say when I want to do TAM, SAM, and SOM for this particular product. Of course, I will use ChatGPT in this case. I can ask them that this is the product that I'm building. Can you help me define the SAM, TAM, SOM for this? When I did that, I did some Google search. I found out that in case of prosthetic arm and for a particular region, so in this case, let's say I'm doing all this analysis for my particular country in India. So for me, the total addressable market would be the entire country assuming that I have unlimited access. If I had unlimited resources available with me, and if I could cater the entire country, what will be the market that I could capture in India? So for me, the total addressable market would be what is the total number of people in India who require my solution, and considering that I can provide them without any difficulty. So that would be my total addressable market for the country. In this case, we have already said that we have around 5 lakh, 50 lakh people, which is around 5 million individuals in India who require it. So number of people, number of individuals that fit into my TAM is around 50 lakh. Now, in that 50 lakh, realistically, I cannot be providing the solution to all of them. I will not be able to reach all of them at once. So for me, it is important that I define myself based on certain constraints that I have right now, like how many people do I have in my team, what are the geographical areas that I can capture. The people basically who are part of the total addressable market that my product can currently serve in the geography, and considering the constraints that comes under the serviceable addressable market. Even so, basically SAM is a subset of TAM, and when I consider that, okay, this is my serviceable addressable market, can I get a part of that in the next 2 to 5 years? So within the time frame that I'm having in mind, it might happen that my SAM turns out to be that from the entire country, I decide that I will only do it for the people in Maharashtra and Gujarat, the two states. And then I realize that there are 1 lakh people in these two states, or let's say 10 lakh people in these two states, and I want to capture that. For me, it would not be possible to make 10 lakh solutions, 10 lakh units of my product in the next 2 to 3 years. So I will try to have a more realistic solution, a realistic target for myself. This realistic target, which I currently can obtain when I go to the market as is with my product, is referred to as serviceable addressable market. So if I try to put in numbers, for me, I have decided that I'll go for only 20K to 30K users, 20,000 to 30,000 users in the next 3 to 5 years. I'll be going via hospitals, NGOs, and direct to consumer. I'll use these channels. Considering each of my product costs around 15,000 rupees, my SOM, or serviceable obtainable market, would be a multiplication of the cost of one unit and the number of people that I can actually target in the first 2 to 3 to 5 years. It comes to be around 30 to 50 crore. If I talk about the SAM in the same case, like we have, let's say, identified Maharashtra and Gujarat, 1 million upper limb amputees that we have, 10 lakh people we have identified. 1 million is 10 lakh, and I'm simply multiplying that by the cost of one unit, which is around 15K rupees, or 15,000 rupees, so that my serviceable addressable market comes out to be around 1,000 crores roughly. And the total addressable market, in case I am able to go to everybody in India right now who requires a prosthetic hand solution, 50 lakh people, and I roughly multiplied by 50,000 rupees, I'll be getting a market of 6,000 crores, which is very big. So if I want to visually represent it, my total addressable market would be around 6,000 crores, out of which the ones that I've identified in certain states, which is a serviceable addressable market, is only about 1,000 crores. And even in that, the one that I can do as of now, my serviceable obtainable market that I can obtain with the solutions that I currently have, is only about 30 to 50 crore rupees. So that is the difference between SOM, SAM, and TAM. So we can say that SOM is a subset of SAM, which is a subset of TAM. I hope it's very clear. So let us move back to our mind map. Just hide the floating controls again. Okay. So when you are talking about this, remember, you just have 6 7 10 minutes to present, not even 10 minutes, I think 6 to 7 minutes, and you are still talking only about the problem statement in this case. So defining the market size, quantifying it terms of time and money would really help people to understand how big the problem is. Sometimes when you're introducing your problem statement, it is really helpful when you tell a personal story as well. I remember, like in such cases, a lot of time people show somebody without a hand in their presentation, or they do an interview of people who are not having an upper arm, and they're telling that what problems do they face in their day-to-day life, and how having a solution which will empower them to do all the day-to-day activities like a prosthetic hand would really help. You should also try to have certain observations in this case. Observations can be like, you can tell that people in this case, in my example that I'm taking, people are socially facing difficulties to mix up with people because they cannot do their day to day activities as easily as others can do. You can also tell observation in terms of time, money, or other social conditions that people face. Once you have introduced your market, by the way, we will be sharing this mind map with you at the end. This will serve as your go to script when you're talking about your product. Now, once the problem is particularly defined and people are able to empathize with what your problem is, let us talk about the solution. So, as I said, that when you're talking about the solution, you should talk about what your solution is. When I say that you are introducing the what part of your solution, you should tell about it, how it looks like. Introduce your solution like a star in a movie. Whenever the entry of the hero happens, there is a nice background music and everything. Try to do that for your product. Have a small video of it when you're talking about it. Show it visually on the screen so that people are able to see, okay, this is what I am talking about. Use a image, a GIF, or a 10-second product entry video in your product, in your presentation. If you remember, this is a part of your IDC as well. We have asked you, can you share an image of it? In IDC, it's okay if you don't have a complete image of it, even if it is rough or something work in progress, that's completely okay. You should try to tell how it works. If you have a working video of it during IDC, wonderful. If not, at least tell us what is the block diagram of its functioning, how it will function. If you have a small part of your product functioning right now, even that's okay. What are the specifications? So even in your idea review, we have asked you, let me go to the themes. We have asked you technical requirements. What are the things that are required? Human factors required. What are the constraints? So this all you should try to cover. If you have a CAD design available with you, show that. If you have a block diagram of how the parts would be there together, if you have a circuit diagram available, showcase that. Usually people forget to include a very important part, that when you are building a product, how long will it work? How many times do I need to service it? How many parts will I need to change? Maintenance is a very important factor which a lot of people forget when they are pitching their product. Try to include that as well. And in which places this particular product will work, try to include that. And what is the unique selling point that your product has? We are around 8 billion people in this world. Lot of them use SolidWorks, lot of them are building solutions. Of course, whatever you're going to think about, something like that must already be there in existence. When you find it out, don't go about just trying to replicate it as is. The judges who are going to judge you, they are smarter than you. They have been doing this longer. So when you just do a Google search, pick up something and showcase it to us, we'll be able to recognize, okay, this is something already in existence and taken from somewhere else. So even if it is an existing product, you can try to show that how I have added a new feature in it that only you have. So something kind of having a competitor analysis table would really, really help in your product. So what a competitor analysis table would look like, it would look like your product in one of the lines, uh, and then your product and the feature that your product has here. One by one you can mention them, and you can mention certain competitors. It is nothing wrong to showcase that you have competitors already in market. This is not a completely new idea and everything. If you're able to crack a extremely new idea, wonderful, nothing like that. You have the first movers advantage. But in case you are building something on top of what that is already existing, it's important that you benchmark your product in the market. For benchmarking, you help the people understand that there are people who are already building this product. These are the competitors that I have. I am one of the competitors. These are the features that I have, and then give a description. You can tick the boxes in some cases which you have, and you can mention that certain competitor doesn't have this particular feature and we are adding it and we are the only one who have it. In my case, in case of the prosthetic hand, I call my hand as neoflex hand. So I will say that I have certain competitors. I know two competitors who currently are there. There is a competitor called as Jaipur Foot. This is my product. Jaipur foot is manual movement. In my case, the product that I'm building, it is voice control. There is no surgery required in it. uh, in case of another competitor, which is a myoelectric product, it is very costly compared to mine. Then what are the tech requirements? Mine is very simpler compared to others. So basically you show your own product as a winner. In my case, one of the key points that is differentiator in the product that I've chosen is that it can have multi-language support as well. So it works on simple English, and in future I'm also planning that it works in regional languages as well. So that can be a good distinguishable factor for me. My product is more durable. People are able to use it very easily as compared to the other products. So this in the competitor analysis you should try to cover. Going back to our mind map, once you have covered this, we hide the floating controls. You should very clearly tell that who is going to use your product. So when you say who is going to use the product, you can see a line has popped from year to year showing a relation. It means that the best way to show who is your beneficiaries is show them using the product. The people who are going to finally use it, have them using the product. A very important point, we all know that you're all in engineering. We cannot and we do not expect you to build a spaceship in the 6 7 months of the program, of the Akriti program. We know that your product is going to have limitations, and it is equally important for you as well to know those particular limitations and the strength that your product has, the weakness that your product has. What are the opportunities that you can grab, and what are the threats that you have? This is called as a SWOT analysis. So basically, when you are pitching your product, try to tell your strengths as is to the people. When you have some weaknesses, I will suggest that you prepare a plan to answer. The people who are going to judge you, the people who are going to ask you questions later on in these competitions, they are going to ask you questions which would be very much around the weaknesses, because they know, they have been there for a while and they know what are the problems that you might face maybe 1 year from now. So be prepared to answer them. And when you have an answer prepared for them, then then the judges know that you have already thought about this and you're aware about it. There might be some opportunities. You can have a plan to capitalize it. For example, in my case, I am currently building a prosthetic hand only. What if I am able to build a prosthetic leg as well? So a new market opens up for me. It's a new opportunity that I can capture in times to come. Currently, I am concentrating on just finalizing and perfecting my solution for the arm. Later on, I have a plan of also having a prosthetic leg. So this is an opportunity in case of my product. I will be aware about it. And third, last one would be about the threats. What if uh, I uh, I run out of I run out of money when I'm funding this? Or the other threat might be that what if something like COVID again happens? What will I do in that case? What if another market competitor enters the market? What will I do in that case? So all this as a SWOT analysis, try to do that for your particular product. Once you have done it, once you have answered all these questions, you will have a very holistic view about what your product would look like. So once your product solution is wonderfully presented in front of the people, make sure that you highlight the benefits of the product that you're building. So when I say benefits, uh, benefits not for yourself. Of course, when you sell this, you'll get money. Don't highlight that as a benefit. You highlight the benefit to the user who is going to use your product. And when I say benefit, the benefit can be of two types. It can be a tangible benefit, and when it is tangible, it is something that you can quantify. So what can you quantify that? Based on our themes, we have uh, possibility that we make a product that is actually energy efficient and it is saving energy. So don't just say that my product is energy efficient and it is saving energy. You also tell by how much is it saving it. That really helps. Quantify it as well. How much space my product sells. Currently, the market solution requires 10 square foot of space. The one that I am building requires only 5 square feet. So every 10 products like this manufactured can give space for 10 people to sleep on earth, or we can plant 10 trees in that particular area. So when you try to quantify it, it really help makes people easier to understand it. You can quantify it in terms of money, that by you implementing my product, the cost is reducing 10x, reducing 5x. In my case, I said that my cost is 10x cheaper compared to what the current market solution. How much time it requires to do a particular thing. You can also do that. In my case, I said that I can say that the turnaround time, since it is locally manufactured, is very, very low as compared to other market competitors. Other aspect of benefits which really is important is the intangible one. This is where the buying decisions happen. This is where you touch the heart of the person that you're pitching to. So in intangible, you can say that my product saves time, and this is the time that you can actually spend with your family, with your friends. Today is friendship day. We can spend time with friends. If my product is wonderfully utilized, it will save time for you. It gives you peace of mind. In my case, when I sell this prosthetic hand to people, it gives them the sense of security, happiness, then self confidence. So I'm giving peace of mind to the people. I'm giving them safety through my product, or in general happiness. So make sure that the benefits that you have, you are able to quantify the tangible ones, and the intangible ones you are able to mention it. Other thing that people are really interested in when they are listening to your product is how are you manufacturing it. So in this, there are two things. Have the processes in mind. In my case, it's 3D printing. I am having the parts as 3D printed. In your case, it might be welding, or it might be something else, casting that you're using, if it is metal related and everything. So do make sure that you have answers to it, and the cost of manufacturing it. So what is the unit cost, which is really important. We all have seen Shark Tank, where we a lot of times discuss about the unit economics as well. Try to have answers ready for it. What is the bill of material uh, that your product consists of? In my case, I'll take an example that my manufacturing cost is, for a prosthetic hand, I require 3D filament for printing it, ABS or PLA, which costs around 1500 to 500 to 1500 rupees. I require 5 servos for rotating the 5 individual fingers in my hand. I will require a microcontroller which costs around 300 to 1000 rupees. I will need to develop a mobile application app to make sure that people are able to operate it with the help of voice. I will need to do some designing and testing, and then some medical certifications in my case. This is not as is raw material cost, but this is a necessity that I will require to do when I'm doing my product for the first time. So this is my cost of manufacturing per unit. At times, what happens is the unit economics, when you do for a single unit, the cost might be higher, but when you get to the stage where you are able to do bulk manufacturing, the cost becomes much lower. So try to have the answers ready for both of them. Even if it is not asked in the IDC, have these answers ready with you, so that when eventually if it is asked in the FDC or if in the pitches, you have the answers ready with you. Then I would recommend, it's really important to have a journey video as well. Uh, Journey video is, for you capture all the moments of you sitting together designing something, then how you did the first prototype, second prototype, third prototype, then the final product. Show the different stages, show the problems that you face, show how you did the surveys, how you did the manufacturing, show you succeeding and failing together. People really are able to tell a lot through your journey video as well, so prepare it. In the marketing aspect, in the product, I would recommend that try to have an advertisement video of your product where you're telling in brief about your problem statement, the solution, what does it cost and everything. Have flyers ready for it, flyers or brochures that you can utilize for your product. Have a website if possible. This really helps show professionalism and show that you have thought about the solution in depth and it is ready to go to market. So if I am a judge and I have two pitches in front of me, two teams in front of me, one is pitching me a solution which will be live after, let's say, 2 years, and the other team is which is showing me that I am ready to go to the market right now, you can purchase it, this is the website, take it. So I'll of course prefer the ones that is there in the market currently. So I have tried to have a website where you cover every single thing about your product. An Instagram page, if required. A lot of people, we have seen teams do this, and it has been very useful for them when they eventually went for the competition at the end. A Facebook page as well, if required. It would might be of help to you. So when we say that how do I make somebody buy my product, of course marketing and advertising is an important part of it, to make sure that you cover it. And whenever you are delivering your pitch, do make sure that if possible you invite the judges to use your product. In my case, I have a prosthetic hand, I will ask the judges to operate it with the help of since it is voice operated, I'll give them the phone, ask them to give a command like close your fingers, and my product should close the fingers. So this way they'll gain confidence that my product really works. Make sure that you have a punchline using which you're ending your presentation, and you do a proper closure. So ideally, this is what your entire product pitch should include. And just to remind you again, you just have 7 minutes to make sure that you cover all of this. So you'll have to divide your time very properly. For me, I again would go back to my example that if I had to do an elevator pitch, what are the points that I would cover? Now, what is an elevator pitch? You might have heard this term a lot of times. So elevator pitch is as in you are, let's say, inside an elevator with an investor. You all are going to the same floor. You have, just say, 1 minute to convince them to have another meeting. So elevator pitches are meant to ensure that you have another further interaction. In that particular time, you are able to gain their interest. So in my case, in my product, I will be saying something like this, that every year, over 5 million people in India live with limb loss. For upper limb amputees, the situation is worse, with less than 10% access to functional prosthetics, largely due to prohibitive cost, which is around 2 to 3 lakh rupees for bionic hands, which is not affordable at all to people. So I'm telling them the problem statement, the magnitude of it, and then I tell them that what my solution is. I tell them that we are offering an affordable, my company Neoflex Hand is offering an affordable, functional, durable prosthetic hand design for upper arm amputees, priced nearly 10x cheaper in the current market. So I'm also establishing in their mind that it is cost effective. It is built using lightweight, high strength materials. Our solution supports essential grips, movements, enabling users to regain independence in their daily life. So I'm giving them some technical details as well, that it is high strength material, and at the same time I'm giving them some intangible benefits as well to the user, that regaining the independence of their daily life. And at the end, I'm giving them a compelling closing point that we are not just building a product, we are restoring dignity and functionality to millions of underserved individuals in India. Would you like to join in our journey? So when somebody listens to this, they will be like, okay, this is something I would like to listen about, and they'll give you another meeting to interact with. So if I were you, I would make sure that I cover all these points when I'm doing my pitch. Now let us do one thing. Let us go back to our IDC and see how can we map the IDC with this mind map. So as I said in the beginning as well, don't look at this mind map that we are sharing today with you only for the IDC. This is something that which would be an exploratory journey for you, like the marketing video of your product. Until you have your product ready at the end, I don't know whether you are able to build the marketing video right from the start. So during the journey, make sure that you try to find out the answer to all of these questions. These are kind of fill in the blanks for you. This is the script that you can follow for your product pitch when you're pitching your product. And we would be sharing this along with the presentation. Now, one by one, let's also go through, let's try to map the IDC template with this as well. So team name in the introduction, this part goes in your IDC from this template. Here you cover the name of the team mentor as well, which would be part of introduction. What problem you have identified, we are asking you here some images that you can give. So you can tell about the problem statement that you have in this. You can tell about what is the background that you have in the social context. Why do you think this problem needs to be solved? What are the existing solutions available? You can use a competitor analysis also in this case. Then what particular theme you have selected. So if you remember, we also said that we have, once we define the problem statement, we select a particular theme of our product. You are quantifying it. If you have a personal story or observation, the same we are asking you in the IDC to do it. You can also give, for example, in my case, uh, to give the context of my product, I can actually uh, put a photo of somebody who doesn't have hands and is facing problem in their life, or they're finding it difficult. The photo depicts that they're finding it difficult to do certain tasks. Then an explanation of why did you choose this theme. A lot of times being able to quantify why you choose it really helps. Then what is the significance? Again, quantifying it, how your solution is going to solve, what benefit it's going to give. It really helps when you do it. The other thing that we are asking is what are your research findings? So in your research findings, I would strongly recommend that you quantify the market size, you tell what is the TAM, SAM, and SOM. So few minutes ago, we saw all of this here with an example. Do make sure that you do that for your product as well. And then second last thing we are asking you, the product specifications. So the product specifications, as I said, how your solution works, cover that in your IDC, this part that is currently highlighted. And then what is the concept direction? So currently we know that you would be identifying the theme, you would be identifying the solution that you're doing it. You might not have done it already. It might take for you some time to build it. That is why we have given you time to for the next stages in the competition. So at least have the block diagrams available here that you can tell us. Uh, Please add the details of the theme and the project that you have finalized here when you are giving the concept direction for us. This helps us decide whether you are going in a particular direction in the right manner or not. It's better that we tell you currently that, hey, the theme that you have selected, the product that you have selected doesn't fit in the particular theme for this year, rather than we telling you at the end that this is not something that you are supposed to do. So this is what we wanted to cover today for your ideal product pitch. So we will be sharing this presentation with you. As I said initially that this would be a short and sweet session. Many a times we go too much behind the execution that we do not at all consider the holistic perspective. So I hope you got a holistic perspective about what your product pitch should look like. You have the IDC templates with you. I think the last date to submit is 7th of August as of now. So do make sure that you do it on time. And now we will be open for question and answers, if any. You can type them, or I will also check the ones that are written in the Q&A section. So one question has been asked, that is the, I'll just, one question is that is the TAM, SAM, SOM market study required in the IDC or FDC? For the IDC, I would suggest that it would be good if you include it, if you are able to tell the magnitude of it. Like when you tell the significance, when there is one section called as why is it an urgent and important problem. So if you are able to tell the significance with in the form of numbers, it really would be helpful when you answer this. So I think having the SAM, TAM, SOM for this would really be important. You can do in detailed version of it when we do the FDC, but it is always good to put it here. Okay, so remember, as I said in the beginning, it's very important to understand that we are showing our presentation to somebody. Okay, so one of the key points that I mentioned here is that if I want somebody to buy my product, in this case, when I'm pitching to somebody, the initial people that I'm pitching to is the judges. So my audience is the judges who are going to evaluate me, the evaluators who are going to evaluate me for the IDC. This comprises 25% of the marks. So for me, the audience is the judges, and for them to understand the significance of my problem, I'll have to give some concrete numbers. So yes, I would recommend that have a SAM, TAM, SOM analysis ready for your product. By doing it, you will also get an answer to yourself, that is this problem really worth trying and solving, or am I behaving like the Daniel that we saw in the story initially? Is this really a problem that needs to be solved? It might happen that you would stumble onto something else as well, and you can then utilize it. Other one is, sir, till date we have no other question is, so sir, till date we have not created the presentation. Can it be easy to create it if we are finding the IDC problem statement? Of course, you have to, as I said, the father comes first, then the child. So don't have the product first and then the theme. Identify a theme and then make sure that your product, whatever you're building, is in that particular theme. So whoever has asked, of course it will help you if you have identified the problem statement that you're going to solve, and then create your presentation. Then there is a question by Murangi that can we add future features in the competitor analysis, or should we only have current capabilities? I would suggest that have the current capabilities as well as the future uh, features as well, but do mention that this is something that I have planned for future. And at the same time, do make sure that your competitor, if they have also announced that if there is another product, another company in my case, who is saying that we are going to announce a prosthetic hand under 10,000 rupees, and I am saying that mine is around 15,000 rupees, and they are saying that in future it is 10,000 rupees, of course somewhere I'll also have to tell that mine would be costing less as compared to theirs. Other question that has been asked is, our mentor has not registered, so can we still add him in our community? I think Kundlik or Shubham, you can take this one.
Yes. Yes. So the deadlines for all of this is already extended for the community creation. So it's 4th August now. And for the mentors edition, yes, you can still add. If you are still, the details are still pending, you can email it to us. Mostly from our side, we have already completed all the requests of the mentors that we have received so far, and we have sent an invitation to them. You can reach out to your mentor that they have received a separate email which with the subject line and invitation to 3D experience platform. Just tell your mentor to open that email and there is a link in that. Tell the mentor to create the 3D experience ID, and once they join, you can add them in your community.
Okay. So there is one question from Arthur that do you mind explaining the concept direction? I didn't understand it, and like what should I explain there? We don't have any product yet, so what to put in it? So as I said here, we have mentioned it. Okay, slide number 9. It says what directions you explored and which one you finalized, so you can tell about the products that came to your mind. So for example, in my case, when I say prosthetic hand, I might have first explored prosthetic leg and other solutions. I can put that here, and then I can mention the ones that I have finalized. And I think in this you can also explain even in a block diagram that how am I going to do that problem, how I'm going to solve that particular problem. It's okay if you don't have your solution ready. You should be able to just mention to us, help us understand that this is the solution that you have in mind. In my case, I will just draw a block diagram that I show a hand, and I show even a sketch of the hand with some sort of servo motors in it that I have in my mind, and then I'm building it. I'll just show you an example. This is something that we recently we went to. This is something done by school students, by the way, for one event that happened. So they wanted to explain their entire product in just two simple slides. The Neoflex hand, so the one that I'm talking about. So they in the concept showed that they have drawn. So forget that all of this is built. This is something that they built at the end when they were developing their product. Here the initial concept that they showed to us when they were designing it is that the product would look perhaps would look something like this. It will have servo motors in it that will be utilizing. It will be using a battery. It will be utilizing a motor driver, a microcontroller like ESP32. This is something that they initially showcased to us. Eventually, their product looked something like this. And currently, what I'm showing to you is done by school students. So they went to the depth of who are my targeted users, what is the market potential, what is the SAM, TOM, and TAM and SAM and SOM of my product by 2030, how much market I can actually capture, what is the immediate addressable market that I have, what is the cost of manufacturing of one unit, what are the current competitors that are there in the market, how will I be selling my particular product. I will be collaborating with NGOs, health workers, rural medical camps. ASHA workers are like uh, people deployed in the India government who are very much in touch with the day-to-day medical activities that happen. We can also utilize them in it. And what are the USPs of the product that they have? And eventually, they made a journey video of themselves as well about how their product was built from scratch, what they built in it, what particular solutions they utilized, and how their product eventually came into actual working. So something like this, Arthur, you can also do when you are doing your product. In the idea concept, we know that in concept direction, your product might not be completely ready as of now, but you can at least tell us what you are going to do. This helps us. This helps you also freeze that uh, this is what I'm going to work on, and we know that this is idea worthy enough to go in the next stages. I hope that answers your question. That other is there a page limit in IDC submission template? Yes. Have it only for, I think there are 10 slides currently. Keep it to 10 slides. It will be easier for us. This is not an exam where if you write more number of pages will give you more marks. It's important that you convey your messages clearly when you are when we go through the presentation that you share with us, in this case the IDC. Make sure you stick it to 10 slides. It will be easier for us, and try to utilize it as much as possible. There is another question that can we plan for a product which in the real market costs 1 to 2 crore, and here we are planning to make it in 5 to 6 lakhs. Is it feasible? Of course it is feasible, but we will not be giving you that 5 to 6 lakh rupees. Do remember it. If you have in mind a product plan using a business plan using which you can justify that whatever you're building could be manufactured in less cost, and if it is acceptable, of course it won't be an issue.
Yes, Pratik. I mean, I would like to emphasize on one point that we are in Akruti, we are focusing mainly on the digital prototype part. But in previous seasons, we have seen that many of the student teams spends their own money and then they prepare their prototype to showcase what. So we will leave you to that thought or idea, but we are not mandating it that a prototype is required. I mean, we are not going to give you any extra marks for that if you are going to bring a physical device or showcase a physical device. Rest is up to you. If you are really looking to build a physical one, you can definitely do that. Otherwise, as far as this question was concerned, you can really focus on building a digital prototype.
Okay. So Michelle, other question is that will a Q&A session after this presentation happen? Yes, it's ongoing. So I think I can say yes to that. Other question is, can we show our real case study, his video of the problem he's facing, and then show our idea design of the product in PPT? Yes, you can. You, by the way, also have a section where you can put your video. So here you can, we have told you that you can put your in your problem identified, you can mention put a photo or a video, both of them would work. So I think we had 25 questions, all of them have been answered. We will still wait if there are any other questions.
Yes.
uh,
And
the
meanwhile, Pratik, we do have one poll to get the feedback of this session. So I would like to launch that poll as we are expecting more questions from the students. So
Mhm.
one poll will be visible to all the students who are currently online. Meanwhile, Pratik, you can showcase whatever you want to show. I will just launch the poll right now.
Okay.
So for the students, the poll is live right now. You may see one prompt on your screen. So your feedback is really valuable to us. In previous sessions also, we have received valuable feedback, and based on that, we are organizing the content of this webinars so that you are well prepared for your Akruti design competition, and you will be able to grasp as much as knowledge as you want from this competition. So we would like to see what your feedback is. So do give your valuable poll, which is currently visible on your screen.
And if you have any questions, you can keep typing them as well.
Yeah.
We'll try to answer them. So there is a question in the poll which says that what do you think is the most important to impress the jury? I would suggest, of course, the storytelling matters, clear visuals, technical path, what solution fit, problem solution fit, that is also matters. But make sure that even your IDC is very simple. If it is simple to understand for us as well. If for the jury it's very difficult to understand what your problem is and it is not clearly defined, of course you will end up getting less marks. To make sure that you articulate it really well, make sure that you try to answer as much questions in the template that we showcased to you, the IDC template, as well as the mind map that we showcased. And mind map is something that eventually the FDC template that we are making, it will also comprise some other things that are not in IDC. The mind map would be a wonderful tool for you to utilize when you're building your journey, your product journey. So there is one question that can we add our research done in IDC, but it's in PDF format. How do we share it with you? So one of the beautiful things about the 3D experience platform that we are using is it allows wonderful collaboration through the platform. You will have your own community which is visible only to you. We are a part of that community. Make sure that when you are doing all of this, you have data to share, you post it on your community along with your IDC.
Yeah.
When you post your IDC, you also attach your research findings in it. Try to articulate the research findings in a quantifiable manner in your IDC template. But if you want us to go through the entire attachment, you can mention in the PPT that please find the attachment named this in the IDC post. We'll also go through it.
Yes, right.
Other question is, do you guys planning to extend the deadline of IDC as our team community is still under process? So Shubham has already answered that. We'll let you know if you have already applied for a team community and has not been approved yet. Please wait till Monday for it. And remember, this is getting the community live is just a one-time thing. So once it is resolved, you will not have to spend time again and again on it. Other question is it okay if we upload PPT containing slides less than 15? Because some containing separate slides for adding points and all. I think, Shubham, that would be acceptable in case they do that.
I mean, Pratik, as you have clearly mentioned 10 minutes ago, that as long as student teams are restricting themselves, what the slides templates we have already provided to you, I think the information we want to receive in IDC is enough. But yes, we don't mind if you are adding one or two slides. Just don't extend it more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's too much to read, we all get bored
Yes,
if it is too long
exactly.
presentation. We don't
Exactly.
even read too long WhatsApp forwards.
Yes.
Try to keep it simple, crisp. That is why 10 slides given. Try to keep it inside it. There is one feedback that most of us didn't hear about this webinar earlier. Please email us uh, before the date. Surely we'll try to do that here
We
onwards.
definitely we will upload the video recording as well on the YouTube channel on Akruti Innovation Community. So if you have not subscribed to that, let me share a quick link with all of you so that you can stay updated as well on the YouTube channel as well. Just give me a moment.
There is another question that we are having some problem about the installation. I think somebody answered that. Then other is
Uh,
from where can we access this format of the presentation? I would think you are referring to the IDC template. It is already posted on the community. I think Shubham can again put the
Yes,
link
we can
of
share
that.
that. Yes, yes.
yes, for the SolidWorks installation, I would request all of you if you are facing any technical issues related to platform or SolidWorks, please access your community and post there along with the details and screenshots, if any. And also, I'm adding the link. I think Shubham.
Yes, let me do that
Yeah,
quickly. Just a minute.
yes.
So on the community, when you go there, usually we only see this. You might be able to see this. So there is a section called as Wiki. If you go inside it, you will get a list of all the topics that are very important for you, like what is the rubrics for this competition, then what is the competition about, the rules, regulations, what are the themes, what are some possible solutions also that you can select for your particular themes, what is the timeline currently that is there, what are the different things that we are doing. So you registered webinars are ongoing, then communities, there would be some contest, there would be final submission, then finale and everything. Certain FAQs that you are asking now, a lot of them have been answered here as well. You can always comment, we'll always answer here. And this is the template for initial design concept that somebody was asking in it with clearly defined rules.
Also, when you enter the community, there is a highlighted post. So most of the details are already mentioned in that particular highlighted post, I think.
Pratik, just click on post
Click on
again.
post
It will
again.
unfilter it. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one. Welcome Akruti Innovation Competition. You can click on that, and there all the, we can say, chronological details are there. So, which order you have to enter in the tasks and complete the task. The deadline for those tasks are also there. Also, at the bottom, there are webinar updates. So, soon we will post the recording of this webinar also.
So basically, the message is keep checking this. You would get all the answers here, and keep tagging us. You know our names. You also know our faces now. So tag us there. We'll be answering it there itself. The platform, 3D experience platform, is meant for live collaboration. So do utilize it that way. Do we have more questions? One question is, please provide the link for all the video recordings. So as we just showcased to you, it will be put in the community. You can refer it from there. One question is, would we lose points for not having a separate PDF file with the research? No, no, you won't lose any points. Remember, there was one ad for Apsara pencil when we were in school, which and the tagline was extra marks for good handwriting. So having a PDF would really help us easier to understand it, but there won't be any extra marks for having additional PDFs therein. What we want is just that you only convey the problem statement clearly to us. It is for the uh, aid of the evaluator in case you think there is additional presentations or PDFs required apart from the ones that you mentioned in IDC. Do share it, but it is not a compulsion. One question from Vaibhav is, will participants receive certificates for IDC submission or only finalists? So
Yes. So to each and every team who is going to complete their final submissions, they are eligible to receive their participation certificates. I mean, it's like you are running a race and you have just completed 25% of it, then definitely we won't be providing any participation certificate. So make sure for to all those teams who are participating, make sure you are staying till the end of the competition and you are completing your final submissions. And by the way, if you complete your final submissions, you are only eligible to receive the free certification credits as well. So many of the teams are already here to have those certification credits, which costs around $190 right now if you go and buy any certificate in the market. So you are going to get these certificate credits for your entire team for free of cost. Make sure you are completing your final submissions as well. And final submissions are going to happen in the month of September. So you still have 45 more days to complete your product design and the submission.
and by the way, there is on the community option for asking questions as well. So you can write your questions here, tag us in it, and we will be answering. Like 3 days ago, one question was asked, and Kundlik has answered it.
Yeah.
So you will be able to see all the questions that have been answered by people. Even if you find that somebody has posted a question and you know the answer for it, you can post it here. You can write it as an answer, and somebody from our team, core team, we would be going and validate it so that people know that okay, there was one question, 10 people have answered it. This is the best one that fits in that particular answer. So I would suggest you please start using the question option as well in the community. It will be of help to you.
Yes. Pratik, very
And
interesting question. Sorry to interrupt you. Very interesting
yes.
question is already somebody has put it. As it is difficult for us to know the efficiency and working cost of our product before making the prototype, can we add approximate data in IDC?
Yes, nobody is perfect. We are all here in the initial stage of our product journey. It's okay to be approximate, but be in a particular limit. Like if you are making a prosthetic hand, don't say that it will cost only 2 rupees and eventually it ends up costing 20,000 rupees. So even if you remember when we used to study the resistance of a particular component, there used to be a plus or minus 5% uh, variation in that. So do make sure that it is as realistic as possible, as close to as possible. In your IDC, don't make any false promises. Don't say that I'm building a spaceship which will using which I will be taking people to moon in under only 10,000 rupees ticket. Be realistic in it, such that it is easier for the evaluator also to digest it. It's okay if it is not accurate. You are allowed to change it later on when you do the FDC, but try to be as closely approximate as possible.
Exactly. And the evaluation for IDC is based on how innovative your product is and what kind of process that you are following, why you have selected this particular theme. And as rightly mentioned by Pratik, sometimes we are focusing on a problem statement that we feel that it's a problem, but for in the market, it really is not a problem. So do focus on that as well, because we are going to evaluate on those parameters only. Quantifiable parameters are definitely has to be very realistic, as Pratik has mentioned. But yes, we are not going to give you any extra marks or deduct you any extra marks for better, you can say, handwriting or visualization or some sort of stuff. So try to keep it more clear, more technical depth. Definitely, our evaluation team is going to appreciate if you are putting an extra efforts into that as well.
So there is an interesting question that are there any sample submissions for previous winning entries that we can refer to?
Yes, just a minute. Let me see what we can do.
Meanwhile, there is
Uh,
another question that is making animation necessary or 3D design is enough for with FEA analysis. Yeah, it's good. It's a cherry on top. Animation helps people understand things even better. It shows that you have worked in depth for it. So usually when we design a product, there is a thing called as MVP, which is a minimal viable product, the least one required for something to build. So you can tell if you have an animation, people will be able to understand it even better. It always helps, not a necessity.
For the previous winning entries, let me do something. We do have one playlist. Let me modify a bit, and I will share through an email to all the teams that what kind of experience you will get once you are in the regional finale, virtual regional finale, first of all. So you can understand we are definitely not going to share the exact presentations, but how a student team is delivering on the spot when there are juries also, they are presenting their screens and they are presenting the presentations. They are mostly final design submissions, so but you can take an idea or reference of it, how it can be done.
So Shubham, you're putting it in the chat box or the
I will
link?
I will send an email to
To
all
everyone.
the teams
Okay.
later. Yes, once I modify the content.
So I think we have answered all the questions. If there is anything, we'll wait for 30 seconds. If not, we can stop the webinar.
Yes.
I would just, my final messaging would be keep it simple for us to understand what you're trying to do. Your IDC template, a well articulated IDC template helps us connect with your problem statement very properly. And if we are able to empathize with what you're building and your presentation is able to convince us, the presentation as in you're not talking in it. It's just the slides, 10 slides that we have. Make sure you articulate it well, use the space well, make sure that it is very simple for people to understand, and it, it would be a good journey for you. Do make sure that while you're doing the entire competition, try to find the answers to all the points that I mentioned in the mind map. We will share with you the presentation as well. Do go through it, and all the best to you all. I think we don't have any other questions, so we can stop.
Yes. Over to you, Suraj.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much, Pratik, first of all, for this wonderful webinar about and explaining each and every small and basic details to the high-end tech specs for presenting the webinar to or presenting the IDCs to submissions of the Akriti Notion competition. I would also like to thank Shubham and Kundlik for answering the queries along with Pratik over Q&A section and over live chat. So thank you so much once again, and thank you so much all the participants to join in for today's webinar and get the insights for the submission about the IDCs. We will soon share the information about the upcoming webinar on the community and over the email as well. So we can
Thank you.
thank you so much,
Yes.
everyone. We can close the webinar for now.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Have a great Sunday and happy Friendship Day to all. Bye bye.